Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is Wyln News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. Wyln News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Wyln News. I'm Derek Martinez. A man from Freeland has entered a guilty plea to 2 counts of arson endangering persons. According to the Weatherly Police Department, the charges were filed against Roberto Turner after he allegedly started a fire in a home on August 6, 2016. During the incident, police say they were dispatched to 234 3rd Street in Weatherly for a fully involved structure fire. Upon arriving at the scene, police report that the fire was blowing out the front and sides of the house, and officers had to immediately assist residents out of both of the neighboring homes. Following an investigation, the fire was ruled arson, and Turner was identified by police as the suspect. The arson charges were filed in January of 2019. Turner was also charged with criminal attempt, criminal solicitation, criminal conspiracy, insurance fraud, and risking catastrophe in connection with the incident. Officials say Turner entered a guilty plea in connection with the case just days before the start of the trial. Turner has already been sentenced to life in prison for the shooting death of 63-year-old Jose Herron in Foster Township in 2015. The Hazleton Area School Board voted to approve a new contract for teachers during their monthly meeting on Thursday night. Superintendent Brian Uplinger said he was pleased that the contract was approved in a timely manner.
Overall, it was a great meeting. We were able to approve and ratify a contract for our teachers, actually a year early. So we did an early bird, which provides them with some stability for the next 5 years and an increase in pay, obviously, which happens with any contract.
Under the new contract, Hazleton area teachers will receive pay raises of 5.5% for each of the next 5 years. Uplinger said approving the contract early will provide stability for teachers in the district.
That new contract provides them with an increase in pay, gives them stability for another 5 years, so that this contract would end in 2030. It provides some health benefits after their retirement as well. So we're really excited about that. Overall, again, the meeting I think went really well.
According to officials, the new contract will supersede the previous 5-year contract, which was set to expire in July of 2026. The previous contract offered pay raises of only 3% per year, which is the current national inflation rate. The school board voted 8-1 to approve the new contract. The lone dissenting vote came from Dr. Robert Childs, who wanted the contract to include a requirement for Hazleton area teachers to learn Spanish. Governor Josh Shapiro announced on Monday that all of the federal funding owed to Pennsylvania at the time of the filing of his lawsuit against the Trump administration has been unfrozen.
As a result of our lawsuit and our continued pressure and engagement with the Trump administration, in which we demanded that the administration comply with the legal injunctions currently in place, we made clear that we were ready to seek immediate relief from the courts. Every dollar that we identified at the filing of our lawsuit is currently unfrozen and once again accessible to all Pennsylvania state agencies. Let me say that again. Every single dollar that we identified at the filing of our lawsuit is currently unfrozen and once again accessible to Pennsylvania state agencies.
Shapiro filed the lawsuit against the Trump administration on February 13th. According to the governor, the lawsuit was filed as a last resort after multiple efforts to engage with the Republican congressional delegation and the Trump administration to get the funds unfrozen.
Look, you don't need to be a former attorney general or even a lawyer to understand this. This is basic stuff the kids learn in middle school. It's how our Constitution works. Congress passed laws committing billions of dollars to the states for serious needs. The president then signed those bills into law. Then the federal government entered into contracts with state government agencies, agreements with state agencies to get those dollars out into people's communities. Those agreements are binding. To put it simply, a deal is a deal.
According to Shapiro, the $2.1 billion in federal funding that had previously been frozen will be used for projects such as preventing sinkholes and making abandoned mines safer, plugging abandoned wells, and reducing energy costs for homeowners. Coming up on WYLN News, a firefighter is injured while responding to a fire in Larksville. Plus, PennDOT announces upcoming lane restrictions on Interstate 80. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network and Jefferson Health, investing in your well-being and building healthier communities, because more expertise and convenient care means better outcomes and a healthier you. Learn more at lvhn.org/Jefferson.
My name is Alexander Bonomo. I'm 12 years old, and tomorrow's WYLN forecast is partly cloudy.
Weather Kids is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
And you will love the feel-good feeling you get when you shop at Grand Central in Nescopeck and Hazleton. You will enjoy a no-pressure professional sales staff, experienced delivery crew, service after the sale,
and don't forget, everyday low prices.
No matter what you're shopping for in your home, we have you covered with top brand names like Flex Steel, Lazy Boy, England, and Dillon Custom Rugs.
With our enormous selection and the flexibility to finance interest-free for up to 60 months, Grand Central makes it easy to make your house a home.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner. When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome back to WYLN News. One firefighter was injured while responding to a house fire in Larksville on Monday. According to officials, crews were dispatched to a home in the 200 block of Howard Street around 11:30 a.m. Upon arriving at the scene, crews reported heavy smoke conditions and entered the building to search for any potential victims. During the incident, Officials report that a firefighter from Courtdale sustained minor burns to the face. Officials say the firefighter was treated and later released from the hospital. The home sustained heavy fire, water, and smoke damage in the blaze. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Luzerne County has announced intentions to start negotiations for the purchase of the historic former train station in Wilkes-Barre. The train station currently houses the tourism office of Visit Luzerne County. The space is leased by the county for $2,700 per month. According to officials, the station was recently listed for sale at $625,000 by Market Square Properties Development, LLC. On Monday, the Luzerne County Council's Real Estate Committee voted 4-0 in favor of authorizing negotiations for the purchase of the building. Following negotiations, the entire 11-member council will have to vote to approve the purchase. According to Luzerne County Manager Ramilda Crocamo, the county could potentially make a 20% down payment with remaining federal funding provided during the COVID-19 pandemic. The county could then borrow the remaining balance with debt payments similar to the rental cost. The historic building dates back to 1868 and was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1975. Visit Luzerne County has been housed in the building since 2022. PennDOT has announced upcoming lane restrictions on Interstate 80 eastbound in Luzerne County. According to officials, the lane restrictions will be in place between Nescopec-Cunningham Exit 256 and the American Legion Memorial Highway Harrisburg Exit 260 on Tuesday while workers perform inspections. The lane restrictions are expected to be in place from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. For up-to-date road conditions, you can visit 511pa.com. Coming up on Shenandoah's News Choice, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Jim Thorpe, Part 2. Plus, we discuss space heater safety on this week's Firefighter Spotlight. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
Express Care. Walk in and you walk into the region's most trusted health network.
Cooking rice just isn't nice. Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with Rice Robot, the 1, 2, 3 rice cooker.
Watch. 1, add the white cup for rice. 2, add the blue cup for water. 3,
Click it and let Rice Robot perfectly cook it. The secret is Perfect Cook technology that surrounds the rice with controlled heat for even cooking. Then Rice Robot senses when it's done, auto stops and keeps it warm to serve.
it won't burn, overcook or undercook, guaranteed.
And rice is just the beginning. Make mac and cheese, frittatas, oatmeals, soups and stews, even ramen dishes. And with a ceramic, ultra non-stick interior, cleanup's a breeze.
Get the complete Rice Robot cooking system with the steamer tray and 1-2-3 recipe guide, all for just $39.99. It comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. We'll even ship your entire order free. Order now.
1-800-640-8545.
For many years, Dr. John Dagenhart has been a beacon of hope and healing in the Hazleton community. As the founder of Dagenhart Chiropractic Health Center, he has dedicated his life to improving the well-being of countless individuals through chiropractic care. In this special episode of Let's Talk Chiropractic, we will revisit the inspiring stories of several of Dr. John's patients whose lives have been transformed under his care.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
One major figure in the rise of Mock Chunk to prosperity was Asa Packer. Born in Mystic, Connecticut in 1805, he came to Pennsylvania to work as a carpenter for the canal boats trekking down the Lehigh River. He arrived in Mock Chunk and rose to become head of a company that made canal boats. Packer, though, had the foresight to see steam-powered railroads were going to be the wave of the future. To this end, he bought sizable shares in the then floundering Delaware, Lehigh, Schuylkill, and Susquehanna Railroad in October 1851, renamed it to the Lehigh Valley Railroad, and started a wave of track building between Easton and Allentown that was completed in June 1855. The line reached Mock Chunk in the fall of that year, traveling on the opposite side of the Lehigh River from the town, which was already served by the Lehigh and Susquehanna Railroad. The Lehigh Valley Railroad would eventually be extended into New York and New Jersey. At its peak, it would include over 1,300 miles of tracks and be classified as a Class I railroad, which originally was given to railroads that had an annual operating revenue of at least $1 million in 1911 money when railroad classifications first started. The profits from the Lehigh Valley Railroad would make Packer a billionaire in today's money. He did not rest on these laurels, founding Lehigh University in Bethlehem in 1866. He would serve 2 terms in the U.S. House of Representatives from 1853 to 1857, and would run unsuccessfully for president in 1868 and Pennsylvania governor in 1869. Packer gave freely to his adopted hometown, donating a sizable sum for the construction of Mock Chunk's St. Mark's Episcopal Church, for which he served as a vestryman for 44 years. Then in 1861, he commissioned the building of an Italian-style mansion for himself on the hill overlooking the town. He would live there until his death in 1879. When his last surviving child, Mary Packer Cummings, died in 1912, she willed the house to the borough. Mock Chunk officials, not knowing what to do with it, left it stand idle for 44 years, which had the benefit of preserving its interior. In 1956, the local Lions Club pressed the borough to open the mansion as a museum. It opened to tourists on Memorial Day of that year and remains a major tourist attraction today. Nor was Asa the only Packer to have a magnificent mansion in town. As a wedding gift to his younger son Harry, Asa had another Italian-style dwelling built next door to his own. Opened to guests in 1974, the Harry Packer Mansion today serves as a bed and breakfast. It also has had an impact on the wider world, as Walt Disney Company Imagineers use the mansion as the template for the design of their own Haunted Mansion attraction. After the Civil War ended, unrest rocked the anthracite region as miners rose up against the mine bosses they felt were oppressing them. It will likely never be known for sure how extensive the Molly Maguires were, or whether they committed the violent acts they were accused of. Mock Chunk was the site of Molly trials in 1876, and 4 convicted men, Alexander Campbell, John Donahue, Michael Doyle, and Edward Kelly, were executed on the infamous Day of the Rope, June 20th, 1877. Before going to the gallows, however, one of the condemned men, most sources attribute to Campbell, rubbed his handprint into the wall of his cell and declared that it would remain there forever as evidence of his innocence. Well over a century later, the handprint remains on the cell wall, resistant to numerous attempts to erase it or cover it up. The anthracite region, in which Mock Chunk sat as the eastern anchor of, would be well known for its breweries. Almost every sizable town within the region had at least one operating within their limits during the 19th and 20th centuries. Mock Chunk was no exception, as 3 breweries once called it home over the years. While the Matilde Gerster and John Schaefer breweries would prove short-lived, however, the third, which began its existence as the Glanz and Kubler Brewery in 1875, would be more successful. Operating on 2nd Street, its fortunes would get a boost in 1879 when it would be purchased by Pius Schweibens, who had spent the previous several years working for breweries in Shamokin. Schweibens, who also owned Mock Chunk's Central Hotel, reorganized the company as the P&P Schweibens Brewery in conjunction with his brother Paul. He would take majority control 2 years later, after which it became the Pius Schweibens Brewery. Following Schweibens' retirement in 1913, it became the Ortley Company Brewery. Prohibition shut the brewery down in 1920, but it rose again in 1933, this time as the Sterling Brewing Company. It would evolve to its final name, the Mauch Chunk Brewing Company, in 1935, and lasted 6 years under this title before closing in 1941. Mauch Chunk reached its zenith in the last few decades of the 19th century. Broadway Street, the main thoroughfare through town, was known as Millionaire's Row for the large number of wealthy men that lived on it. A crowning jewel of the downtown was the Mauch Chunk Opera House, built in 1881, with a farmer's market on the first floor and a concert hall on the second. It became a popular stop for vaudeville performers. Mae West, Eddie Foy, and Al Jolson were among those who graced its stage during its heyday. The building was purchased in 1927 by the Comerford amusement chain, who reworked it into a movie theater. It operated in this capacity as the Capitol Theater until it closed in 1962. For the next 13 years, it would be used as a warehouse by the Berkeley Bags Pocketbook Company until it was purchased by the Mauch Chunk Historical Society, which restored the building to an entertainment venue. Today, the once again Mauch Chunk Opera House once more hosts live shows.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Hey! Did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Hello, I'm WYLN historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.
Hello and welcome to Firefighter Spotlight. I'm here with Bryce Dalrymple, who is the fire chief at Valley Regional Fire and Rescue. And today, the weather's cold outside. A lot of people are turning on those space heaters, and we're just going to talk about some safety tips.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. So space heaters are not all created equally. If you're in the market for a space heater, again, it's a great way to heat, small corners of your house that are cold or cooler during this time of year. Try to find a space heater that, one, has a tip sensor on it. So if it gets knocked over, it turns off automatically. And also, some of the newer models have almost like a sleep timer on your TV, where if you forget to turn it off, it'll only run for a certain period of time and then shut down. But that being said, there's always an inherent risk by running space heaters inside your home, right? The key is to try to keep them at least 3 feet from any kind of fixed objects, curtains, children's play areas, pets that are a little rambunctious that like to run around. One of the other key things with a space heater, when you're looking at safety, is make sure they're plugged into the wall directly without using an extension cord. Extension cords that are not designed to carry a load can also overheat, and maybe the heater might not cause a fire, but the cord will, right? And then one of the other pieces is when you leave the room, try to be cognizant, turn it off, and never use a modified space heater, right? They're built for a reason. We may be, technologically advanced nation, but they're designed that way for a reason. So if it's modified, try not to use it in your home.
Gotcha. So what kind of things would make it a modified space heater?
Some people like to remove the trigger switches, or they take the guards off because they say the guards restrict the airflow, things along that line. So again, if it comes in the box that way, try to use it that way. It's built for a reason.
Gotcha. So. Anything else people should know about these?
Again, they're a great way to heat cooler parts of your home. Know what your amperage is in your home. Make sure you're not overloading your circuits. Just do your due diligence if you're going to use a space heater. One of the other things too, they say try to use a space heater, an electric space heater, in low moisture environments too, because that also could damage the elements inside electric heater if it's in a very humid area, and then cause the unit to short out as well. So those are some just keys there when you're looking at space heaters and the use in your home.
Awesome. A lot of great information. I want to thank Bryce for coming on. That'll do it for another edition of Firefighter Spotlight. We'll see you next time.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.